Tomi, the guys with the 5 eyes that you see. And we're gonna get a real quick video for you guys today because this is just sad. And usually I do a whole bunch of edits and put a lot of comedy into my work, but I feel like for this case, there isn't anything funny about this. It's a lot of sadness all around, and it's just disappointing to see someone throw their life away for the most trivial reasons. So here we have Houston Rockets guard Kevin Porter Jr., aka KPJ, charged with strangling girlfriend. He was arrested in New York City on Monday, and basically he was arrested in New York City on Monday for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend, former WNBA player Kysre Gondrezick. Oh man, like what country is that even from? I've never, I can't tell if this is from like Germany or if it's like some Indo-Russian kind of name, but police sources told ABC News he's 23, formally charged with assault and strangulation, but not guilty, released on $75,000 cash bail. So here's a little backstory with this guy KPJ. He's a good basketball player, pretty decent. He's got decent splits. He's like a 20 points per game averaging kind of guy. He's basically like a all offense type of dude. You know, he just goes out there, does everything he can to score a bucket, and when it's time to play defense, he's basically going out and getting popcorn, you know, playing games with the fans, doing anything but playing defense. But he's an offensive kind of guy. Formerly, when he was getting drafted a few years ago, he was actually supposed to be a lottery pick, but he had behavioral issues that were showing at USC, you know, just making it hard for staff to really get him on track, and it degraded his draft stock a lot. He got drafted 30th overall when he should have probably be somewhere in at least the top 10 because he is offensively special. He scored a 50 ball. Like, I don't know if it was once or twice, but he's really good on that end. But when he was with the Cavaliers, he also, he also got basically traded from the Cavs because he was just acting an ass in the locker room. You know, so he has a history of just being mentally unstable. You know, Porter returned early Monday morning from an event, an evening out to the Millennium Hilton near UN Plaza, where he and Gondrezick were staying. She was upset with the late hour of his return and locked the door. Once he entered with the help of hotel security, Porter beat up the woman. And so what you can kind of tell when you get from this article here is that they have a really messed up relationship because, again, we don't know the full story, but she's like mad that he's out late, coming back and locking the door. Like clearly there's like some kind of control issues. They're having a whole bunch of trust issues. He'd probably be cheating, but I be trying to tell people, you're gonna be with an athlete, you're part of a harem. Like until stated otherwise, unless he shows he really loves you, you're part of a harem, and let these guys do whatever they want. But at the same token, to the athlete, you know, if you get a woman that's really clingy and stuck on you, this is just what you should expect. And if you don't like that, you should dip. She told police Porter struck her repeatedly about the face with a closed fist, causing a laceration above her right eye and bruising and substantial pain to her face. She said Porter applied pressure to her neck by forcefully squeezing it, causing her to experience difficulty breathing, redness, and bruising in her neck, and substantial pain. She was taken to NYU Lagone. What are these names, man? People keep trying to act like America is some like independent country, but I swear every other name we have in this country for anything is always so incredibly foreign. Like, what's a Lagone? I think it makes me think of Goran Lagan or something. Where doctors said she suffered a fractured vertebrate in her neck. So we gotta remember, this dude is like 6'5". She's pretty tall herself, but he's very strong. These athletes, man, women, you gotta understand, when you get with an athlete, he is, you know, he's stronger than the average man. So I really behoove you to make sure as good as possible that the man that you are with is as calm as can be off the court and very nice. Because if they decide to beat you up, it's going to be unlike anything you've probably ever experienced. But this is really telling here. Let me get to something about this. The pair was in New York City for Fashion Week. Porter and Goo, I'm gonna call her Gigi, were photographed at the Vogue Smart Talks NYF kickoff event on September 7th. I'm just getting completely, because what's a Smart Talks? Like, oh my goodness, man, these names. Now check this out here. So I've said plenty of times that NBA players maybe close to soccer players, but I'd say NBA players are far and above the most suspect athletes on the planet, because these guys are they want to do everything they can to dress close to being like women. They are incredibly feminine, very effeminate. I think the sport of NBA basketball is actually extremely effeminate in itself because of its over reliance on beauty and offense. You know, there is a certain grit that is not there with a lot of these newer players, and whether it's Josh Christopher and Jalen Green, John Morant's mannerisms, how Dylan Brooks be acting, what Kyle Kuzma be wearing, you know, especially Shai Gilgeous, SGA, he be looking real suspect to me. You know, these guys' obsession with Fashion Week. I mean, you already saw Russell Westbrook. I think he thought it was a kilt, but that definitely was a dress. Look at the way this dude kind of looks. It's just the pearls. The pearls are just not a masculine thing to have, and it's funny because he still got to have on the Cuban link just to kind of give it that masculine look. But if we keeping it real, like no, the pearls just make you look extremely feminine. He clearly, and I know it was her idea, she looks snug as a mug. Something you can tell he done got his like eyes kind of did up. I think he might have on some slight eyeliner, some mascara, something. But them pearls look wrong. That V cut with these long pants and those boots. Those are the kind of boots that look like, what do they look like? Not McLaren's. Doc Martens. You know, that it's feminine. The way his dress, you can feel it because he's trying so hard to have this kind of like Vogue drip. And men who try to be too fashionable, like without their fashion containing some kind of a resourcefulness, usableness, you know what I'm saying? You always got to look at them dudes sideways, because being hyper fashionable is a feminine trait. That's something females are into. As guys, most of our fashion should be like more conducive to doing things. Like I know for me, right, I like to buy clothes. I live in Florida. Most of my clothes that I get a lot of dry fit. I get a lot of clothes that dry up because I can sweat a lot, especially with the kind of jobs I have. So most of my shirts dry fit. A lot of my shorts dry fit. You know, I have my jeans. I have some basic regular jeans for doing, you know, events, outings, and everything like that. But I also have clothes that I use when I go hiking, you know, with extra compartments, especially like my Nike Trail shorts. Nike Trail is on the rise. Definitely get you some Nike Trail if you like being outside and you like having items and things to put here and there. You know, I got my running shorts specifically for my running, so it's easier for me to move and everything like that. I'm getting into harem pants now because one thing I learned, like, I'm a chunky boy. I got thick old thighs. No need to say pause because it is what it is. And harem pants, man, they give you so much space in between your legs. Like, I've been really thinking about the way a lot of people in, like, you know, Africa, Asia, the way they be dressing out there, and, you know, they be wearing those long robes and, you know, harem pants and a bunch of just like loose fitting clothes, because it's easier way to move. The tightness that we're obsessed with in America is so weird. Skinny jeans are the worst thing to happen to anybody. But here we go. So he was drafted with the 30th overall pick in 2019 out of USC. Developed star player for the Rockets. He's not really a star. He just scores a whole lot. But he had 5.3 rebounds and 5.37 assists a game. So, and this is his girl. She played ball at Michigan, West Virginia. She was drafted number 4 in the WNBA draft in 2021, but then played one season and hasn't played in the last 2 NBA seasons. So it lets you know how trash the WNBA is, because they can't even keep a lot of their players pre-aware. It says he was previously arrested in November 2020 and high on weapons charge, but the grand jury declined to indict him because he had a bunch of money. And then they traded him, into the next season. So this is the thing, right? This dude, if he really wanted to, could have been a all-star, right? Because sports is of that dark magic, so, but he was a good player. The fact that he could average almost 20 with almost a 5 and 6 split means that if he ever reached a peak, this dude could be averaging like 25 points, 7 rebounds, and if he really wanted to, possibly 10 assists. He could probably be like a double averaging kind of player, which means, man, he's probably losing anywhere from $100 to like $300 million of future income if he really can't get back in the NBA. And honestly, I don't know how he can have much of a career after this, because if you look here, this is his contract. He has his 4-year extension is only guaranteed for $15.86 million all in year 1. The contract includes June trigger dates after season, but the Rockets can essentially release Porter at any point without further pay up to the $82 million, right? So he had an $82 million extension. Only 15 is guaranteed. This was written last year, so he just completed the first year, and they can let him go without paying the other. And the reason he has this kind of deal is because of how unstable mentally he is. And when you think about it, all the money in the world, all the talent in the world does not matter if you don't have a solid mind frame. But see, the thing about sports is you gotta look. Sports is a Ponzi to a degree for a lot of people. Why? This is the thing. Let's look at the NBA. I know you guys have heard of ESPN's broke 50-50-50 or 30-for-30, 80-for-80, whatever it is. And about 67% of the NBA athletes just go flat broke after they retire. See, the thing is, the league is supposed to make money by any means necessary. A lot of people think that means the talent is mostly supposed to make money from the fans, but that's naturally not true. This is what they do. They get these guys who, it really doesn't matter what level they are, if they're already rich or they're poor. The thing is, they don't have a lot of financial backing. Although, if they have former NBA fathers who are in their lives, usually they do better. They get to the league. They give them money, all kinds of money. They want the players to go spend that money on cars. They want them to spend it at expensive hotels, expensive vacations, right? And as they go through their career, they give them more money. So what do the players do? They spend more money. And then at the end of the career, they've given everybody else money. Their lawyers, the jewelers, the car dealership people, the real estate people. When these players make money, other people make money. And as we know, these owners are into all that. They have relationships with all these people. Like, you would be surprised about how many NBA owners have a relationship with the big real estate companies and real estate people in their city. And when they draft a player, they probably like, hey, you should go to my guy Rick. My guy Rick, he gets you all the good houses. And then, it'd be one dude and he's buying like a 17-bedroom condo for like $15 million for no reason. Shaq himself, he basically said like the first, I'm pretty sure he's exaggerating some of this, but he may not be exaggerating. But basically, when he got his contract, he pretty much spent all his money within like the first week, just buying cars and all that kind of stuff. And it goes that quickly. And it can go that quickly because there's so many things you could buy for $1 million. There's so many things you can buy for like $500,000 a month. And when you're a guy like Kevin Porter, he got 15 mil this season. 15 mil. Now, about half of that's gonna go to taxes. But if he's got like about 7 mil left, all you gotta do is buy like 5 Bugattis and he spent half his money. So these players are meant to make money, not just from your viewership and your subscriptions, but they themselves, the money they're given is really supposed to go to the associates of the league and to anyone else. And then after they've been used, they're just thrown out. And this is why I also say we have to stop taking these NBA players so seriously, because nobody really cares about their mental health and nobody cares about what they're involved in. Now, if you check here, this is the sister of that chick, right? And she's basically saying here, we're gonna beat you up. There's no point reading all this. It's so dramatic because it's like the tagging him and putting on, it's like he don't even have to see that. But you know, people, they want to be celebrities so bad these days. But check this out. She's the same dude that used to, might as well be a dude. Look at her. Ugh, she looks like a Yoompa Woompa. Just, she looks horrible. She used to beat up on Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace. But she used to beat up on him, and now she's like, I'm gonna beat up on you because you beat up on my sister. And it really makes you kind of wonder, does a sister ever beat up on him? You know, because, you know, if this chick be beating up on Dwayne Haskins was a big dude himself, probably about as big, almost as big as Kevin Porter Jr. I wonder if her sister be beating up on KPJ, and then he just decided he had enough. Now, at the same time, though, for him to strangle her to the point he's like breaking her neck, that's a whole nother thing entirely. But I can guarantee you, nobody cares about this dude in the league. Not his teammates, not his owners, nobody. That's why I say the less we care about the game and we just watch it just because we like to watch basketball, the more empathy and more care people are going to have for these players. See, like I said, and what I mentioned earlier about how the league has these guys, how the league essentially uses these guys, takes them in and washes them out. You know, there's always another guy ready to take his spot. There's another guy ready to start averaging 20 points per game. You know, Dylan Brooks is on the Rockets, and he just dropped the 39 ball on Team USA for bronze in the FIBA World Olympics. He been ready to be that guy. I mean, as much as we like to say he's stupid and ignorant of LeBron slunned him, he's still ready though. That's why he's still on the team. And with Jalen Green at the helm, Jalen Green is basically like a taller Ja Morant. He know how to play with a guy like that. Houston sucks. He got the green light. He could easily, and I think he plays better defense than KPJ too. So he's taking his spot easy. It's like it means nothing, right? And that's the sad thing about sports. That's why sports is so evil in a sense, because no one actually has value. No matter how great they are, there is always someone who's going to be that guy after you. Even with like Michael Jordan. Soon as Michael Jordan was about to retire at the end, and then he did, who's the next Michael? Who's the next Michael? Is it Harry Minor? Is it Kobe Bryant? It was Kobe Bryant. Is it going to be Tracy McGrady? No, because it was Kobe Bryant. Who's going to be that guy? You know, it doesn't matter how great you are. Nothing you do really matters because there's a new season every season and it never ends. And thus nobody cares about you because they want to adulate you like a god. But that's the problem. They don't look at you as a regular person. It's that control of the electromagnetic field and neurons and electrons within your brain. It's all about control. If they gotta control the fans, that's why you're a fanatic, and they gotta control the players. That's why they give them all this money, but they want them to spend it. So for a guy like Kevin Porter Jr., who obviously has incredible emotional issues, he obviously has he has a past that he can't let go of, because from what I've heard, he was abused as a child growing up in like Washington. I think it was Seattle, or maybe one of them cities and metros close to Seattle. He didn't have the best childhood, and basically he's one of those players that kind of, he plays with his trauma full force, and that's how he that's how he does his thing. But really, he's the perfect kind of player that a lot of these leagues want, because you can chuck some money at him, don't have to pay him the rest, and he's with the money he has left, I mean, since he's not good in his head, if he doesn't get it together, who knows what he's going to spend that money on? Who knows who he's going to give that money to? Probably going to give that money to her after she sues him, and then she going to be at another NBA game trying to get somebody else. You know, it's a very vicious cycle. So in closing, I want to get this expressed to you guys, because we as people, we as men too, black men, Israelite men, we need to understand that nothing in this world compares to the graces and the blessing of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem. As you know, as currently now, as God and Jesus, but it's really Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You know, the blessings that those guys, you know, that the Elohim and his begotten Son can give you from following their commandments as written throughout the Bible is far greater than any sums of money, any scores of fans, all the adulations that you can get from this world, because it will turn on you. And you're more likely, you're also a danger to yourself. You know, he's his biggest enemy. It's not her, it's not the Rockets, it's not anyone else. He is his biggest enemy. You know, wearing pearl, I can't get over the pearls right here. You look like grandmama. But, you know, I gotta pray for this dude's soul, because I know what it's like to just not even care how much talent you got, not even care what you could possibly do. A lot of guys out here, man, a lot of athletes, they mentally, they don't have a lot of belief in themselves, even if they are the 0.1%, you know, because the world they live in is fake. You know, athletics is fake. 99%, I wouldn't say 90. I'd say a good solid 90% of it is fake, because it's entertainment. Remember, it's still entertainment. It can't be 100% real, because that's not entertaining. There has to be storylines and messed up things. Like, for example, the whole issue about the NBA can't have world champions because they don't play world competition for the most part. Then Team USA loses, doesn't even place a medal in the FIBA, and now for next year's Olympics, LeBron is like, I'm gonna be in charge of Team USA, har, because there's a good chance LeBron may not win another championship for the rest of his career, so why not another Olympic gold medal? It just feels so fabricated to me when you put it all together. Boom, 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 boom. You get it? So when these guys live in this fake environment that really doesn't need them unless they're a super all-star, you know, it doesn't do anything for their health, you know. And in my opinion, I really feel like the last thing he needs is the NBA. He doesn't even need to be in the NBA. He needs to be in a entirely different country, away from these regular vices here, to be in the area around people that don't know him nor care about him, and he doesn't know, to kind of feel a new kind of life. Because here in the States, being this adorated basketball player is so common to him that the way he feels about himself, nothing is changing. It's just the same old. He keeping still, you know. I think it would be good for him to play basketball in a place like France, or somewhere like Greece or China or something like that. Japan, especially Japan. Japan's a great place. You know, somewhere that's a bit more quiet, more low key, and for him to get away from America, to just get away from himself, you know, because I don't want to just completely give up on him, you know. I want to have some faith, and if he wants to keep going down that route, then it's unfortunate, but that's just the way I see it. Don't let this world fool you guys. You know, without Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, there's really no meaning to this, because this is what they created. The world of man wants you to be a fanatic for NBA players, and if you're a baller, it wants you to want to be an NBA player. It doesn't want you to think about anything else. It doesn't want you to think that there's more talent out there that you can see. Really, if you want to see real basketball, you would get a EuroLeague kind of membership or whatever, because out there the rules are so much stricter, the defense is so much tighter, and it looks more like a game you know, instead of entertainment. It's not all about entertainment over there. For them, and this is why I noticed when it comes to like other countries, when it comes to sports, besides like big time soccer, is that for them, they find it more entertaining the more tense things are. That's why over here in America, the fans do the basic, oh, 1, 2, 3, go Magic, yay! But over there, it's like, you know, because there's more culture with it. You know, it's more of a, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's more like ritualistic. And over here, it's just so flashy and so diva-ish, because that's the way they siphon energy in the industry here. You know, they want you to think that these dudes are all celebrities and they're gods and stuff. They're all just regular dudes in the end. But that's all I gotta speak on this subject. Hopefully this dude gets it together. I pray she has a quick recovery. I hope they don't get back together, but you know how these kind of couples do. And I'll see you guys in the next one.